How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Forever Arsenal podcast. Another off the back of a win, another off the back of a healthy win, healthy performance, more goals, and yeah, back to back better performances off the back of the international break. It's all looking good the last 7 days. Everyone's smiling. We've got the regulars back in the building, James, Jordan, lead judges. So hit the like button, people. 1,000 likes nice and early. Obviously, leave your comments and all that as you always do. Beautiful engagement in the comment section as always. So show some love to the video. Make sure you subscribe to individual channels as well. A lot of content coming out thick and fast. So go show some love. And yeah, how are we? James, Lee, Lee shaking his head. I know you're under the weather a bit, Lee.
Yeah, but buzzing. Buzzing after that performance.
Yeah, is it all worth it? Because you're going up and down, not only the country, not only the country, but Europe. It does take its toll on you.
Yeah, it does take its toll. But when your performances like that, yeah, so it is good. I don't really know how to make of yesterday. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if it was we were so good or they were so poor, or what it was, or was it back to normal service in the second half? But it's not the best place to watch football. I've got to say that, like, you know, especially if you get into a certain age when your eyesight starts going. You know, I mean, it's not great, and the atmosphere I thought was very, very poor in there yesterday. Like, you know, I do feel so. Well, I do feel sorry for West Ham fans because of the atmosphere they used to get in Upton Park. So the atmosphere they get now is chalk and cheese, you know. So, but yeah, all in all, great performance. Didn't know how I felt when Kai Havertz scored to make it 4. Because my 3-0 was looking very, very good at that time. Like, you know,
all predictions were out the window early on.
Very early on. Like, I think mine was the one that was there after 20 minutes. I thought, like, when it went 1-0, 2-0, I thought, well, this could be 3 again, you know. And then like when the 4th one went in, that was it. All predictions gone, like, you know. So yeah, listen, thoroughly enjoyable evening. And listen, when you go away from home and you win, it's fantastic. But when you win as easy as that, you know, you can't complain, can you? You can't complain.
Yeah.
Can I just take a second to say that I've just clocked that I look like I'm in the manager's office. You know, I've got the Arsenal whatever. I've got the sort of office chair. Big up my mum. I'm in her office. Jordan looks like he's been sent to his room.
Literally, I have.
Looks like he's in prison.
He's just sat there quite, you know,
politely.
I'm propped up on the edge of my bed. I've moved back into my flat.
Very
one toilet bowl. That's it.
And if you
planned your house, your new flat, you know, I mean, get down to IKEA today, son. Get down there.
Next week, I'm on it.
Get the flat packs out. Get the flat packs out. Get your screwdriver out.
It
does do some graft.
It does look a bit prison-esque.
Yeah.
It does look a bit. All the contraband is over that side, so you can't.
Turkish, show them the lighting.
Huh?
Show them the lighting.
What, the lighting that I had before?
The lighting you had earlier. The lighting you greeted us with. We thought, oh no, something's happened.
I liked it.
It's not bad, is it?
Do you know what? Can I just say something?
It suits me, I think.
Can I just say something? I want to come back in another life, right? As Turkish-esque. You know what I mean? The guy is too cool. You know what I mean? I have to say that. Look at that. We went out the other night. He just sits there, just so cool. I just thought, that's the guy I want to be like. You know? That's the guy I want to be.
Nah, man. I look up to you, Lee, man. Don't do this.
Thank you very much.
In the pod, man. You let me blushing. You let me blushing. It does. You are right there. It does look like you're like Nicholas Yova's, I don't know, work experience, James, and you're just there, just going to tell us about the set pieces and what you've learned in your last couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll get into it.
I look like I'm about to kick a Aubameyang out the club. Do you know what I mean?
Hashtag James out.
Yeah.
James out.
You look more like the women's manager we just sacked. You know what I mean? So,
what's his name?
Jonas.
Eidville?
Yeah, you look a bit more like him. You know, like trying to push yourself to Mikel Arteta. I love you, James, but you're pushing it. You know what I mean? Like, you're pushing it. You know, so.
Know your role. Let's get into it. Five more goals, 10 goals for the week. 13 over the last 3 games since the international break. 10 away from home this week as well, which is, you know, You see, our away form has become somewhat. We've become somewhat used to it. It's become the norm. But 10 goals away from home at Sporting and West Ham, it's no easy feat, regardless of form, regardless of managers leaving and so on. But talk to me, Lee.
Just only if we had a striker, right, boys? Just only if we had a striker, like
would have been 7. Would have been 7.
It would have been 17 goals.
But you know, that's an interesting question. Actually, did we miss any chances? If you know what I mean, I think
very clinical.
I think one of the success stories of the week is I can't really think of many chances outside the ones that we took.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. When you're that clinical, it's brilliant. It also makes you wonder if we're kind of like super outperforming the XG, like we're just like on the other end of the of the tether where we were before. But I wonder. But Arsenal have just been, we found a bit of a ruthless edge. Arteta talked about it before the West Ham game. He was asked, if he's sort of seen a character from his players or something. And I think he said that was never in question. We're taking our chances. I'm not sure I quite agree with that analysis, but I think his point is that sometimes you don't have to do much more, but you just, those 1 or 2% goes your way and things look significantly different. But yeah, Arsenal were great again.
Yeah, great again. Jordan, let's start. Lee's already started with the atmosphere side of things. I mentioned that on the watch along yesterday in terms of Upton Park was such a great stadium to go to. Your journey there, the walk to the stadium, the stalls, the food, the atmosphere, the cultures and whatnot, to this kind of stadium, commercially built, Wembley-esque, let's say, away from the pitch and built for more than just football. That atmosphere's fallen off. And then you replace Moyes with Lopetegui. Outside looking in, that's not what West Ham fans wanted. So I can understand some of the frustration there. They wanted someone a bit younger, someone with a fresher approach. And they didn't get that. And it's not going well for them. But we can only do what we can do, Jordan. And the last week or so, it culminates with a 5-2 win at West Ham and gives us the best Sunday we can hope for in terms of watching that Liverpool City game without any more issues on the plate coming up.
No, for sure. It's kind of a win-win today for us because someone's dropping points. One of our rivals dropping points. On West Ham, stuff them. I know that nice stuff he said about their stadium and all that. Stuff them. They were dirty yesterday. I know it wasn't the fans that did it.
Didn't you go to their parade a couple of years ago?
I did actually, but we're done. We're done. It's over.
Stuff them.
Yeah, no. I didn't like that. I don't mind being roughed up. I do think the Arsenal fan base can be quite precious and soft when it comes to decisions going against us. But what they did was nasty. They were intentionally trying to kick us up. And I don't mind being roughed up. Cool. If you want to mix up a little bit, we've got to match that. Cool. But this wasn't. This was more than roughing us up. This was fouling us. They were intentionally trying to hurt us, and I don't respect that.
It does bring aside that over the last year or so, I've been happy to see from like a Havertz, a Ben White, and yesterday a Saka. Saka was, when you saw what Emerson was trying to do, and that's the first time I've seen Saka be that so aggressive, and I like it.
I'm with you. I like the fact that we can rise that as well, because a decade ago, you'll know, them times we weren't on it. We weren't on it, sort of thing. We were just shrivel and we would crumble and capitulate. Whereas now, as you said, we've got guys in the team that aren't having it. It started with wiggling off Granit Xhaka. I think he was the first one to start actually putting his foot down and saying, no. You can't kick up my team. So first of all, stuff West Ham.
And Jordan, so I know you're mid-flow, but you're so right. It's not even just the getting kicked about, not on, but we know that teams do it. I think Arsenal actually, no, we're not a dirty side, but everyone can have an element of like, you go over and above the physical side of the game that's allowed. It was also, I think on 2 or 3 occasions we had players down. They tried to pick them up when they'd just been like clumped in the head by a goalkeeper. And then there was one moment where Timber was down, the free kick was given, and Emerson was just kicking out. That's what Saka lost it with. And there's just moments like that where you just, and Paqueta, twice not touched, twice.
Yeah.
All players died, but actually like the referee to be a bit better on that occasion. But I agree with you. I actually really like West Ham, and I like West Ham fans a lot. I was so unimpressed with all that stuff yesterday from West Ham. Just the bullshit's the word, actually. And I like the way the referee dealt with most of it, except for the 2 yellow cards for Saka. and whoever. I thought that was pathetic. I thought the ref got that wrong. And I also really liked how Saka and Havertz dealt with it. I mean, when Gabriel, they were trying to pick Gabriel up, Havertz just went and pushed him away. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I disagree with you slightly on the Saka yellow card. I think it is a yellow card. I think he's pushed him. He's put his hands on him. It's a booking. But I'm backing Saka. I'm like, fine. I'm okay with that yellow card.
I think Emerson went first, though. Saka was animated, then Emerson leaned into him, and then Saka pushed him away. I mean,
true. But I'm more than pissed off with the referee. I'm happy with Saka did it. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy that he stood his ground for sure. So stuff them. Hope they go down. But going back to us now, what's been impressive to me, guys, is we've not only won. Turkish, you mentioned 3 wins in a week and 13 goals. We're getting performances too. These aren't like 3 wins where you're like kind of scraped it or we've nicked it. I said before the Forest game, I give them a pass because you know me. I think performances are important. Results are results, right? Of course, you need to win games, but performances are the bedrock of long-term results. And ahead of Forest, I would have taken just a win. But we've got a performance. Went to Sporting, played really well, battered them 5-1. And then we've done the same thing against West Ham. We're playing well. And I can't help but wonder if other teams are looking at us and thinking, oh, okay, they've got their players back. They've come through a really difficult start to the season in terms of the fixtures. We've seen Arsenal go on these runs before. I wonder if Arsenal are a team to really take serious again now. And now I'm still in the mindset that we are one more defeat away from being done. So nothing's really changed for me in that sense. You don't beat Man United and Liverpool win today. I think we're done. So we're where we were pre-Forest, as far as I'm concerned. 1 game at a time. Just win the next game. Keep the pressure on, and before you know it, it'll be 5 wins, 6 wins, 8 wins, 10 wins. Get past Christmas, okay? We're now 3 points behind Liverpool, and then you're really on their neck. So the most pleasing thing for me was the fact that we're not only winning these games, we're getting performances. I like how we're playing. We've gone back to basics. Defenders are defending well. Wingers are wingering. Havertz is scoring. Midfielders are doing what they're doing in the midfield. There's a few players I want to highlight a bit later on, but I'll throw to the boys kind of give their thoughts. But the standout thing for me was that we weathered the storm of that period where they got a bit rough with us, and secondly that period where they kind of scored their 2 goals, and we just handled business. I mean, we did it playing the Arsenal way, the Arteta way, and that for me is what's really, really, especially ahead of United game, that's really encouraging for me.
That's the good thing, Jordan. I know you're saying about West Ham there. That can happen in a game when a team's being absolutely outplayed at home.
They were desperate.
Yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing. So what they're going to do is they're going to put their foot in there. But it was the way we dealt with that I thought was really good. I do like, there was a couple of times, as you say, with Saka. The Havertz one was great when he gets fouled and that ref didn't give it to him. And so he just sprints 15, 20 yards, and just leaves one on him. When did we do that years ago? We never did it And the referee goes, don't do that again. Like he's just been kicked down there. I will say that there was a slight disappointment with the goals conceded when we conceded. We're 4-0 up cruising. I thought that was a poor goal to give away that first go. I don't really know. Poor defending, I've got to say that. A little bit of an iffy spell like we did against Sporting in midweek when you're cruising. I think that can happen, but I don't think Mikel will be quite too happy about it. But come on, I haven't seen it. But how's that for a free kick? The second.
It's not a free kick, Lee.
It's an absolute wonderful tackle, right by the referee, and he gives a foul. If they're giving fouls for that, it is incredibly poor. Some of the referees.
Sorry, Lee.
I thought the ref actually had a pretty good game, but that was actually had a very good game, and he spotted the pens first time. And listen, the bar is low, so me saying well done, you gave 2 clear pens, but he did give them. And actually, I felt he let quite a lot go in the game. I was disappointed, like I said, by the yellows he handed out to both. But that free kick was just a shocker of a decision. But what a free kick.
Unbelievable free kick. Unbelievable free kick.
Perfect free kick.
It's a great free kick, James, but I think what Lee said there is really pertinent. Not only is it not a foul, it's a really good tackle.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a really good tackle.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even like it's like, it's a really good tackle. What? It's a really bad decision. Really bad call.
Yeah, but he fell for. And look, if it's our player, we're saying fair. You're fighting for everything and you're getting us. But Paqueta was at that point, you know. What were you saying, Turkish, on the watch along? It was, yeah, the referee fell for the scream.
How loud he was and the spin. Like, that's both times literally the same thing. And you know,
Jorginho didn't touch him.
it's like the referees get scared and it's like shit.
Was that for the second free kick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that when I said he didn't touch him.
Yeah.
And someone said, "Oh, he did. He did clip him." I said, "Well, it didn't look it from here." And that was a great save by Raya, by the way. Otherwise, it could have been a lot hard. But like, it's just you're under the pump a little bit, and that's going to happen. You know, and to be given a free kick like that, you know, don't get me wrong, fantastic free kick. But I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, you're 3 yards away from that. You know, it's just poor. It's just poor refereeing.
Yeah.
But as you say, he's got a couple of things right. But
can I just jump in there before James has his say? Sorry, just one quick point about the fact that, you know, Lee mentioned the 2 goals we conceded wasn't great. And you know me, I'm a clean sheet freak. So that annoyed me. But the fact that we had a 3-goal lead, 4-goal lead at that point, it kind of like, it slightly negates that, because when you're so good and you give yourself a 4-goal lead, you can afford to concede 2 goals away from home and still be comfortable, is a testament to the work we did in that first 30 minutes. So although I'm really annoyed we conceded 2 goals, the fact that we kind of handled business before that gave us that huge buffer that it didn't really, you give 2 goals away normally in a game, you're concerned. You're either losing or you're drawing. But to give 2 goals away and still have a 2-goal lead shows how good.
Listen, they were perfect. They were perfect goals as well. That first goal from West Ham, you know, Soler shapes to shoot. Defenders stand off a little as expected, and then he just plays a through ball through 2 defenders, you know, off the shoulder of Trossard. Beautiful run, beautiful finish. And then the free kick. It wasn't a free kick, but to dispatch it the way he dispatched it, over and under and off the bar. It was just our reaction that I liked, because usually when teams do rattle, and I don't blame West Ham for trying to rattle us.
No, I don't.
Neither do I. No, but
I don't.
But also, if they do, we can call it out. It's you know, it's one of those. But Jordan makes a great point there. Like, that if you score a shitload of goals, the clean sheets feel a bit less important. But mainly as well, the signs weren't there that we were going to concede. It wasn't like West Ham had some openings, have had some chances, you know, be careful. Their only chance before that was a clear offside. For me, that's good defending. They can say, oh, it was offside, you know, on another day. No, we held our line well. That's good defending. Part of your high line is a part of good defending. And we weren't conceding goals. I mean, it's so weird. We conceded 2, but I thought we defended really well. Antonio was a bit of a handful. Thought he did some really good work. Certainly played some good balls in behind, and when, especially against Kivior in the second half, you know, worked him. But I actually thought we just actually defended well. We conceded 2, and there was a point where I felt a bit nervous, you know, because I think you think the jeopardy, we throw away this 4-goal lead. But Arsenal had defended really, really well, to be fair. And West Ham, outside of the 2 goals, I can think of maybe a third chance in the game. And I wouldn't, you know, then like you said, the other 2 goals were actually brilliantly executed. So fair play to them.
But who needs defending when your defender gets the goals that Gabriel's been getting? Not just this season, but, you know, he's just been building upon it. And once again, the corner routine where when you watch it back, you can see the intent behind it, the instruction. Yeah. And it's another beautiful one. He just finds himself in space. And I've just started paying more attention to Gabriel every single, because I'm just expecting one of these days it to be Saliba or maybe a Calafiori, but it's always Gabriel. And Antonio only stopped him once out of the first 7 corners we had. All the rest, he was either close or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Do you not just double team him now and sacrifice Trossard?
But we're such units, though. That's because if you double team him, Calafiori's tall, Saliba's tall, that's Kai Havertz is tall.
You match up with the big guns, but then just sacrifice Trossard or sacrifice Saka.
When you think about what can you do, like Jordan, you're a tennis fan, right? On my fan cam, I described a set piece. It's not really the same, but it's like an ace. You know, if you've got a big server, not a lot you can do when they pick that spot and they hit it right.
Yeah, that's the delivery.
You know, you just the return is just like
If you put two
Right.
people on Gabriel, he doesn't score that goal.
No,
It's
that
getting
goal,
to the point
no.
now
That
where
goal,
he's
no.
that much
But
of a weapon. You've got to put two people on him now.
okay, but the Etihad.
That
the
goal
Etihad-
was different to the other ones that he's got, though, boys. That's
Yeah.
a completely different
Yes,
goal. You know
it
what I
is,
mean?
It is.
You know,
Guys, the Etihad goal, the Sporting
Spurs?
goal, that's
Yeah,
him crashing the back. But Spurs,
yeah, crashing the back. It
you
wasn't
can
crashing.
put two players on him, he'll run through them. I don't. For me, the credit goes to Gabriel because he's doing the hardest bit, which is putting the back of the net. But the quality of the delivery is a huge part of the work. And you got I was using the word free kick, not as in it's a free kick, as in it's a free attempt to kick this ball. So if they get that right, there's just very little you can do about it. And you saw that, Fabianski had to claw one off the goal line at one point. There were some desperate kind of headers to clear others. It's just mayhem. I mean, Inter Milan, who I thought defended us really well, they really struggled to deal with some of our corners.
They did.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they actually go about doing that, whether they sit them down in a room and go through it, or then they go through on a training ground. They must do it all, I suppose. But like the first thing is first, that has to be delivered properly. It has to be a pinpoint and whatever. And we do that really, really well. But if you ever look at that one yesterday, he goes into the crowd and comes out. So it's planned so that then Antonio can't get through that way. And then the delivery is spot on. And the one thing I have to say is, we've all played football. When you play football and you set up for corners, you don't really think the team's going to score against you. And you don't really think you're going to score in a corner, 9 times out of 10, it don't really happen. But I was talking to a West Ham fan yesterday on the way out. And he turned around and said, every time you get a corner, I think you're going to score. Now, if fans are thinking that, how is the team thinking that? You know what I mean? And I'd imagine they've got Antonio, for instance. You're on Gabriel, thanks for that, you know what I mean? Now, if you know that Gabriel scores that, you're at fault. So there's a nervousness about it as well. I don't want it to be my man to score. Don't want that. And I think what's going to happen is that they're going to be so concentrating on Gabriel. The next goal, it'll be Saliba or Calafiori or Havertz again. So you wait and see, because there'd be too much focus on Gabriel. But the delivery is unbelievable. I think Declan Rice probably made his most awfulest corner. But it's 1 in 25, guys. It's you know what I mean. It's incredibly. The two of them deliver unbelievably.
Lee, do you remember a couple of weeks ago? I think you might have said it, or Jordan did. That Man City at their best had teams beat in the tunnel. Basically before. I think that's a very unique position that kind of only champions really have, or really elite sides. But I think we've got a little bit of that from corners. Genuinely, we've got a corner. And I remember Gary Neville's commentary was so poignant for the Tottenham Arsenal, the derby back in September. We got a corner, and the Arsenal fans, there was just this sense of,
it's like a penalty.
You can feel it in the stadium. You can feel the atmosphere in the stadium. That game against Tottenham, you felt every time we got a corner, there was panic around the grounds. You could see it, and you see it yesterday with West Ham. You know what I mean? They know. Oh no, it's a lovely weapon to have on top of all what you can do in the game as well. It's fantastic.
He's becoming our John Terry from set pieces. I can only think of John Terry. He's the only centre back that scored so many goals from set pieces and corners. And Gabriel, it's not only the amount of goals he's scoring, guys. Look at the last 3 seasons and go and look at the teams he scored against and the grounds.
Yeah.
Go and look at his record after this podcast, guys, and look at the teams he scored against and the grounds he's done it at. I think he's done it twice at Spurs. I think he scored at Anfield.
Yeah, he scored
at
Chelsea. Man City scored. Yeah,
a lot of them winners. A lot of them winners or opening goals.
He's a real weapon, and I'm going to put a 5 on him scoring on against United at Old Trafford, because I'm telling you, United are not great in those scenarios, and it wouldn't be surprised me if they're working hardcore extra hard on set pieces because that's the way we can score goals. We'll get to United in a bit, but I'm telling you, he's a real weapon. It's a problem.
Is Gabriel Arteta's pound for pound best ever signing at 27 million?
Yes.
Yeah.
Odegaard's at 35 million, so that is close.
Oh,
I think Gabriel.
He's been unbelievable. He's unbelievable.
Odegaard is just above 35 for Odegaard.
Odegaard at 35 and Gabriel second at 27.
But I don't know if you noticed it, guys, yesterday.
Pound for pound.
Watching on telly, like he come out. He didn't come out for the set. He didn't play. Did he come off at half time? He come off
half time, yeah.
But he was out on the at the end of the game, and the whole of the end was singing his songs. I don't know if they showed it on TV or whatever.
No.
You know what I mean? It was fantastic. Do you remember it was years ago? None of the players would come up to you and all that. I used to moan about that all the time. But under Miguel, every single player comes up there and they're singing that song, and he's orchestrating it like that. He's got his daughter singing it at home and all that. It's a wonderful, like for him just standing there and he's doing it. And then they're all singing it, and at the end he's clapping it. It's a fantastic moment for us fans and all that, like, you know. And the players are really on board on it all, and it's a great thing. Yeah, great thing.
Is there a rule,
someone else out?
Sorry, just before you move on, is there a rule, guys, that if you come off with concussion, you can't now play the next game?
It's a week.
So did they alert that he was coming off because he was concussed or coming off?
I don't believe
so. You know what I mean? Did they declare why he came off?
He was limping a little bit, Jordan, at the end. I don't think he was 100% fit yesterday.
He was limping at the end when the cameras panned.
Yeah. Okay.
So I told off on that.
It was precaution.
Or he's been told to limp.
Yeah, because I'm not sure.
Maybe that's a great point. Why not? You wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised. Get out there and start limping about, like, you know what I mean? That could be.
Go to Lee in the crowd, do a little song, you know, limp a little bit.
Great point.
Find the side camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Turns out he was waving the wrong crowd. No, that
he was at the West Ham end.
Come on.
What was you going to say, James?
Sorry. Jorginho, man.
Oh, can we talk about him? Can we talk about him?
We're going to talk about Jorginho over Saka and Odegaard and
Saka.
They've had their moment.
But Jorginho had 2 interceptions and that was it. The whole game. What are we going to do here, man?
He was my man of the match for today.
Sorry for the Jorginho hive come from me next. Any more hives coming from me, please.
You're trying to upset the Italians. You may as well just snap spaghetti in front of me.
Don't worry, next week he does that Tottenham mistake again. We're fucking going in on the penny.
Saka, I dedicated a lot of my fan cam to Saka because I'm running out of words, and of course we've got to talk about him and Odegaard. The reason I actually really wanted to talk about Jorginho just in that bit there was because I asked a question about pound for pound signings. I'm not joking when I say Jorginho is one of them. For the job he has in this squad, for 12 million, for the level of performance you get out of him for 12 million, I cannot believe how much I've changed my mind about this player. At Chelsea, I just thought, yeah, good on the ball, but I've completely changed my mind. I think he's a master of what he does in terms of getting on the ball, running a game and reading a game of football. And someone left a comment on my match report on my channel. They said, yeah, on the ball he's great, but I still worry about him off the ball. I don't anymore. Yeah, he can't run. He doesn't need to. He positions himself and reads the game like to an elite level. It's unbelievable how much he can do, how much he can hold his own in the Premier League, in a very physical, high-pressing Arsenal side, without the legs to do it, really. But in his own way and his ability to read the game, his intelligence, he keeps up, and more often than not, can even raise our level for certain occasions. I thought he was brilliant again yesterday, and he was brought in. I mean, Partey travelled with his squad, so the suggestion from reporters was that it was a bit of a late decision on Partey. And again, it was, the North London derby. hadn't kicked a ball all season. But
Professional. He's professional.
Exactly that, Joe.
So impressive what we are getting out of him. And the question I asked my fan cam, wary that this might upset Chelsea fans, so I want to get the context in. He's achieved way more at Chelsea than he ever did at us. He was a Chelsea player when he was a Euros winner. He won the Champions League. The partnership with Kante, he was brilliant under Tuchel. I know all that. But there was still real question marks about him at Chelsea. Not everyone kind of really universally rated the player, even amongst Chelsea fans. Has his stock and reputation gone up at Arsenal? Like, I think he might leave Arsenal with a better reputation as a Premier League footballer than he had at Chelsea. Is that a fair question? I'm just asking.
It's a fair question. And I'm with you on this. I didn't think he was as good as what he is.
No, I didn't.
Because watching him week in, week out, I've just been, because you're right what you're saying. He hasn't got the legs right around the ground, but he finds a way with his experience and all that. I will say this: I don't think he would be as good if Declan Rice is not alongside him, because Declan does a lot of that leg work for him. But he gets on the ball. He manipulates the ball fantastically well. He gets it back. He plays and all that. Listen, I expect my standards of Saka are through the roof. You know what I mean? The guy, what I see of Saka yesterday, I expect that week in, week out. That's what I expect. That's the level he's set. Perhaps with Jorginho, that bar isn't as high, but I think he went to that bar and over it yesterday. And that's how I felt. I thought he was exceptional yesterday. I think that he run the game. Our midfield, we blew their midfield away yesterday, overpowered them, outplayed them and all that. And he was part of that free. He was part of that free. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. And people, that watch football and all that, he's the brave, when you say you're brave, you can be brave. He's brave because he takes the ball in areas where you could, if you lose that ball, like he did at Tottenham, you get done. And he picks the ball. He wants it all the time. He's very brave on the ball. And the biggest compliment I can give him is that he played half a game against Forest, comes off. He goes all the way to Portugal, doesn't come on. And comes Saturday, 5:30, he is ready. He is ready to play again at the high level and play like that. He might not play on Wednesday. So the attitude of that to say, right, I can't play and all that, and but when I am in 3 or 4 weeks' time, I am ready to play, I think is a massive compliment for him. And that's why I admire him so much, because he could sit there and go, do you know what? I'm at age now. I'll wait until January and maybe get moved, or I'll do it. He accepts his role, and this is a player that's won everything to a certain degree, but he accepts the role that he's in, and he just utterly takes it to a different level. And I guarantee you, people like Wanyeri and people like that are looking up to him and go, look how he looks after himself. Look what he does. Look what he does. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. Absolutely. But my man of the match yesterday. My man of the match.
Was he? No, Saka.
Yes.
Saka for me. But I thought Jorginho was brilliant. Should we move on to Saka?
He must be ill to give Jorginho.
I just think when I give him man of the match because I expect that from Saka every week. That performance from Saka yesterday was fantastic. But I expect it from him. I expect it from Saliba. I expect it from Rice. I don't really expect that. You know what I mean? To come in and put in that performance, wow.
So Turkish, did you not think he was very good, Jorginho? I mean, I'm sorry. You could think he was good.
Am I way over the top?
Yeah, you are. I'll be honest.
Really?
Okay.
No, he's solid. I agree with everything you said, but I didn't think it was worth. I think 10 mil, good signing, comes in, does a job, but I didn't think it was worth but each their own. That's why there's 4 people on the panel.
Yeah, genuinely, I genuinely thought he was terrific, and I don't know. I think also people get so upset by the idea that you could rest Partey and play Jorginho, or that Rice is a £100 million player, but maybe Jorginho gives you something else. So when he does come in, it's great. No,
I was surprised. I've been surprised by his output for us as well. At 10 mil signing, when you're looking at Caicedo, it feels like a bit deflating, but literally every time he's come in, bar that Tottenham game, that one game that stands out.
Yeah, the second half.
He's done a great job. I just look at yesterday and I think you look at Odegaard's ball over the top for Saka for that second goal.
Yeah,
More
unreal.
so, you look at Trossard's ball for Havertz, and then Havertz's finish. There were so many moments in that game that, yeah, maybe it overshadowed the work for me that Jorginho was doing. Not to say I didn't appreciate it. He was solid, but it was more he kept things ticking for me. And there was 2 times he stopped the counter attack with a toe.
Yeah,
I remember well. Yes. So yeah, but everyone deserves some. I think Timber again. I think the last 3 games, Timber, Saka, Odegaard, you're looking at and you're saying, well, that right-hand side on this day with everyone fit, look how it runs. Beautiful. Whether it was Jesus or Havertz, Forest and the last 2 with Havertz, it still runs as smoothly as we love it. But the left-hand side is, again, some question mark. But Trossard comes in, he does well. He takes the defender on a bit more direct. He gets a goal as well, a tap-in. But that ball from Trossard, that's one of the best
wonderful.
through balls or balls over the top or whatever you call it that you can see on a football pitch. The backspin on it, the positioning, the way it just falls into Havertz just in front of the defender. Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was unreal. I really liked Trossard's performance yesterday. He more often than not knew I've not got the beating of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. In fact, the one time I think he did take him on, he had some joy. But more often than not, it was his combinations, his 1-2s, his getting in the pockets. I mean, you're right. I mean, by the way, I actually didn't think Jorginho, as much as I've praised Jorginho, I've mentioned Trossard, I probably didn't even have them in my top 2 or 3 players. But they're the players that came in. And I think it's important because we've been critical of the squad and their contribution. That's the squad contributed for me as they did against Forest. So I really like that. And then you go over to Odegaard and Saka. I mean, Odegaard's like a joke. It's just a joke how good a footballer he is. It's just the little things he does in games as well that must just... If you're a player playing with him, you must just be laughing sometimes because he just turns from a player. There's a touch in the right direction. There's 2-3 players around him and he's gone. And you must just be thinking, okay, this guy's a cheat code. There's no way he should have got out of that. And he did. And then that pass, I don't know about you guys, but before he played that pass in behind Saka, I knew he was going to do it. We've seen him. We've seen him go, you give it, and it looks like I'm aiming that way, but I'm going to scoop it that way. It's the execution that's so impressive, but we've grown used to the fact that he can do it now.
You know that Havertz goal? You know the Havertz goal?
Yes.
Have you noticed he's touching the midfield from that?
Yes, yeah. Odegaard wins it back. Jorginho wins it back. Odegaard's touch and
the touch. The touch, and it's just it's a touch of 5 yards, but it's how he does it, the vision of it, and then Trossard breaks the pass. It's just wonderful, wonderful stuff. That, you know, the goal. I don't know if it was to the penalty or that. I think Havertz wins the ball and he just picks it up and he just slides it in. I think it's for the penalty. I think it's just it's effortless, but it ain't. It's just wonderful, wonderful touch play. Some of his touches, and I'll tell you what. I don't know who the number 19 was. There was a couple of minutes in that game.
Alvarez.
Was it Alvarez? That he went running around just trying to kick him. And he got him in the end. I think
that was Kilman, to be fair, but yeah.
Right, so
yeah.
He might not have got him in the end then, but
yeah.
There was a minute where you thought, like, oh, get him off. I was thinking, get him off. Game was one. And he was like he just couldn't get him. It was like playing a game of touch. He couldn't get him. He just, everywhere he went, he's chasing him down to kick him, and he couldn't do it. You know, he dropping a shoulder. You know, wonderful, wonderful player. Like, you know, and there were people. I'm not going to mention names, but there were people saying they would have preferred Madison to him. A lot of Arsenal fans were saying that. A lot of Arsenal fans are saying, no one on here. I just had. I'm not digging at anybody.
We've all loved Odegaard. We've always loved Odegaard.
He's just gone over the last couple of years. It's just gone to a different level now.
Yeah, the leadership side is the best.
Yeah.
Is the most. Well, what's the word? Most satisfying part of it.
Well, it was questioned, wasn't it, Turkish? People were questioning him about being captain. There were a lot of Arsenal fans. Well, what's he being captain like? You know what I mean? What's a decision? You know, I didn't see him as a captain.
No.
I never see him as a captain.
Tierney, I wanted Tierney.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You wanted our 6th choice left back.
At the time, he was 4th, I think, or 3rd. I don't know what he was. But here we are. Jordan, before you go in, I don't know. I want to bring in Saka now because of course, he is like, we talk about him quite often. We talk about Odegaard quite often and others. But Saka's on course to challenge, potentially break that 20 assist record that Henry holds with Kevin De Bruyne, who matched up with it a few seasons ago. He's got 10 assists in the first 13 game weeks. And in this vein of form that Arsenal are in, who's to say he's not going to get a few more before the year ends?
15 goals and assists by 13 games, you said?
13 game weeks, but I think he missed one, though. So he's played in 12. Hasn't he missed a game?
He missed Bournemouth, yeah. I mean...
Southampton, did he miss Southampton with Sterling playing, or was that Martinelli that?
No, he did play that game.
Okay, but 12 or 13 regardless, 15 GA, 10 assists this early in the season for a player that's always used as the measuring stick for every English player that comes through over the last 4 or 5 years, and he just keeps on dusting them off and moving forward.
I will just say, sorry, before you carry on, I think De Bruyne and Fabregas have, I think, hit 9 or 10 at this stage before. And
So it's also had 16. Also had 16 1st of January.
It was Ozil, not Fabregas. Sorry, yeah.
De Bruyne, even De Bruyne's 20 season, he had like 15 come January. So even he slowed down, or they slowed down a bit. So you can't guess it.
Teams will start going, oh, the guy who keeps getting assists, maybe we should stop him.
What, the guy they keep on doubling up for 3 years anyway?
Well, that's the beauty of it, is that actually they've been trying to stop Saka.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if we was to fix this left-hand side / striker issue come next season, Saka elevates again. Because right now in the front three, it is clear you have to focus on him more than Havertz or Martinelli or Trossard and Jesus, whoever plays. It is clear.
They're benefiting from that Turkish. They're benefiting. Look at Trossard yesterday benefiting. Martinelli benefiting with a tap in, like, you know.
But a bit of balance. I think they need to.
I know what you're saying.
Fear factor. So Saka can benefit. Well, Saka benefits because he's so good. But imagine someone takes a bit of attention away from Saka in a game, how much more he could.
Well, yeah, I get that. That's true. But they're all piling over there, aren't they? And they're leaving Trossard. Yeah. You know, like Havertz could have scored yesterday with the Trossard one. Was it like they're both in there again? So they are benefiting from, but I understand what you're saying.
But I thought actually there was some really good moments against West Ham where, especially in the first half, we were playing our football down the left really well. And then Saka was in acres of space. And I think Emerson knew, like, he's over there, but you get dragged in. If you don't go, there's a massive space in between. So you suck them all over. Saka's just hanging out on the touchline, and Rice just pings one of his trademark switches.
And his touch is sublime, James. You know, that ball's being smashed over there. There was one in the second half. It was smashed over there. And he's running at pace. He just touches it with his left foot. It goes 5. It's where I thought, like, you know.
That was Mahrez' secret. Mahrez was amazing at a million things, but his first touch.
Yeah.
It was a pillow. It was just a cushion. It would just done. And when you do that, the defenders, they barely had time to set before you're beginning your attack.
Yeah.
It's such a massive weapon. And it's made me look at wingers so differently now when the ball is pinged over to them and they're touch, set, thought on the ball. It's like, you've killed it. The move's done, but they've got over.
Do you know what I noticed as well about Saka? For a couple of years, maybe the latter year of Ramsdale and the first year of Raya, I noticed the goal kicks were always, or the kicks generally, were always going towards Saka. I thought to myself, why do you always go that side? Like, the guy he's not big, right? But actually, when you check it now, so I think maybe it was someone in commentary mentioned and flagged him, which made me remind me of this. He's so strong on the ball, and I kind of fell into the lazy stereotype of assuming that because you're not big, that you can't be a target man or you can't hold the ball up. But if you look at his body now, he's so strong that you can now, you know, send those 40s, 50-yard diags to him, and he will, more often than not, he will hold the ball up. He will bring the ball down. He will hold off a guy on his back and handle it. And why is Ramsdale always kicking the ball that side when Martinelli's taller, Havertz is taller, but it was always going towards Saka. And it's because they trust not only that his touch is phenomenal, but actually he's stronger than we think. I think Saka is stronger than we think, and
phenomenal
that's
athlete.
clearly why the balls do invariably go that way, despite him being only.
But I think that's part of. I think
5'10"?
that's because that used to frustrate me a bit as well. Because Saka did find some success with them, but it wasn't like 8, 9 times out of 10 he's bringing it down. It was more 50-50. But I think it makes for a better player, especially at that stage of their career, because now we are saying strong and whatnot. A lot of that came through with things like that, instructions like that. Like, let's take other wingers. Like, how many wingers in the world or in this league do you know that the instruction is for a winger that best attribute is on the ball, on the ground, win it in the air. We're going to go long to you the majority of the game, like an Anthony or a Sancho or I'm just naming some bum wingers, really, but I'm trying to name some good ones. Yeah.
The real litmus test.
I forget off the top of my head the good ones, but you don't often see that. So I think it makes for a better player. I think Saka's, the way he's kicked on, and like I said, if we just add someone else to the attack moving forward, he's gonna next year will be 5 years in a row that he gets better and better and better and better and better from here. It is scary to think better from here what it could bring with another attacker in the side and a bit of a mix up. But
what happened with the injury yesterday? He went down. We saw him go down. We don't know what it was for. Was it a kick or?
Oh no! Yes, he split in the penalty area.
Yeah,
it looked like his standing leg. So he kicks it with his left. I think his right foot. He twisted his ankle a bit, but he obviously came back on and played and was subbed off. So hopefully nothing serious. Okay. I use the word intelligence to describe Jorginho. We often talk about sixes when it comes to intelligence. There's kind of players that need to use their brain. Because Saka's such an athlete, we obviously, and he's a very flary, skillful player, we don't talk about it enough. But this guy is a genius. He's an absolute genius. The solutions he finds. I think Alex from the Different Knock asked a question. What's your favorite Mikel Arteta tactic or detail or something? And the one I mentioned was, do you remember when Ben White would pass the ball not to Saka on the touchline, but on the inside, so Saka would run onto it, because that was the only way to evade the defender. Brilliant solution. Basically, on the touchline, nowhere to go, pass on the inside. Now, you're mentioning his strength. There was one ball pinged over, and I thought Emerson's got this, because Saka hadn't got to the ball. But Saka just used his body to direct where he wanted Emerson to be, moved him out of the way, touched on his left foot, set, spin him, game's opened up. Just everything. He's so intelligent. Oh, you're going to block me on my left foot? I'll drag it onto my right and I'll hit the roof of the net. He's such an intelligent footballer. His ability to find solutions is incredible. He will cross it to the back post, or he'll combine with Ødegaard in a tight space and he's in behind your defence. And you're right, he's got better and better. As a footballer, I think he's brilliant to watch. I mean, I'm so entertained by Bukayo Saka. Yet his output is there. And sometimes a player can be one or the other. Doku, I think, so entertaining to watch on his day, but the output's not always there with a Doku. And then you've got other players that, for whatever reason, get sort of criticised for only being output and actually, well, you're just an output merchant or whatever. But Saka, for me, has got it all. And I think, a year or two ago, the world-class conversations, and I know it feels like every time we talk about Saka and he plays well, the world-class question comes up. Maybe a year or two ago, it was a bit premature. But I think if your definition of world-class is he the best, if not one of the best in his position, I'm looking at Mo Salah, and then I ask you all to put up better right wingers for me in world football right now. And there might be. I'm not saying there isn't. But
he's up
my
there.
word.
He's up there. And do you know what?
Is there anyone else? Salah, but is there anyone else?
I mean, Yamal would have an argument. Rodrigo on his day might have an argument, but we're talking them four.
Yamal.
It doesn't mean he's world class though. But that's a
and that could be your definition. But the question of is he?
Do you know what my definition of him is, Jay?
Is he one of the top 3 wingers in world football? Yeah, he probably is.
Right wingers.
But right wingers.
Yeah.
But that for me doesn't mean he's necessarily world class.
Fine.
But I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
he's world class for Arsenal. That's all that matters to me. I don't care who's out there. He's world class for us. That's what I don't care about anything else. The one thing that I will say about Saka, and if he had a shot in the first half, went inside the box and it went wide. I'm disappointed in him.
Yeah. We said that.
If he goes past, if he doesn't go past a player, I'm disappointed in him. If he doesn't do this, I'm disappointed because he's so bloody good. And I don't care about Salah. I don't care about your mate. He's our man. He does what he does for us, and that's all that matters. I don't care about anything. I don't care about what he does for England and how he's world class because he's now won a World Cup or a Euros. He's played in this, played in that. It's what he does for us. He is. I've got him on a different level, and that's including Odegaard, to any other Arsenal player. He is. I look at him, and sometimes I think I'm a little bit disappointed in Saka. And really, he's an 8 out of 10. But that's how good I rate him. He is just sensational. And you're right, James. I could sit there, and it's a shame that I don't, because I'm enthralled in the Arsenal thing. But when Arsenal are winning comfortably, right, you can sit there and admire this. I could sit there and watch a Saka all day long, what he does. But because you're intense in the game, it goes over you a little bit. I just love sitting there. Yesterday, I'm just sitting there, just, you know, watching him. He is a fantastic footballer. He's just unbelievable. He's our footballer.
It's not
and
easy.
He's Arsenal. And I don't care what anybody thinks about him. You want to put up somebody else in that, I'll stick my middle finger up against you, like, he's ours.
Yeah, it's not.
So I don't care what him up there says about world class. He can stick it up his jacket, right?
Yeah. And it's also the thing about Saka is, I've mentioned it before, is he's shown both sides of the coin. Whereas wingers in this day and age, some of them are system based. I'm going to take one of ours. Sterling under Pep Guardiola looked amazing, right? But outside of Pep Guardiola, looked nothing like himself. Whereas Saka come through in an exciting side, free flowing, taking on defenders, a bit more of a free role on that, you know, wherever he was playing, because he played multiple positions. But now he's working under instruction. He's got better. Look at Jack Grealish, for example, goes into a Pep, starts working under instruction, and his output dwindles. It evaporates because he cannot get his head round that instruction. He kept things ticking, whereas Saka's molded himself to a better player, having a manager like Arteta. Now, all of a sudden, if you do release the handbrake a little with Saka, he's, again, it all forms a much better, complete player. So I have to give credit to Mikel as well, the way he's managed him over the years.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
sometimes
it's mad that Sterling's probably learning from Saka, and it should be the other way around.
Sterling ain't learning from nobody, bro. He's done.
All right.
Do you see the guy? Does he look interested at all?
I know. I hear you, but I'm just making the point that it should be Saka trying to get nuggets.
Yeah.
Sterling, 4-time Premier League winner, 3 years in a row. I think he got 15 plus goals. I think he got 20 a couple of times. But I genuinely think Sterling's probably in training looking at Saka and thinking, how did you do that? Or show me how you made that move inside. Do you know what I mean? That's a shame. Can I just get... Go on.
So, no, because it's just about Saka quickly. Why is consistency such an underrated thing in football?
100%.
It really is, isn't it? Like,
I don't think it...
You don't think it is? I think it massively is.
I think it is.
I tell you what highlights it: the people that don't give Salah the respect he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
When people go, yeah, but peak Salah, is he as good as peak? I'm like, this guy for 8 years has been unbelievable for Liverpool in terms of constantly producing, evolving his position. People talk about goals, but creatively, like, maybe last season he was an assist machine for the first few months of the season, and he's got that in him as well. We saw what he did against, Southampton the other day. Like, I think Salah's a great example of someone who, for 7-8 years, has done it. And okay, I think Prime Hazard was sensational, but who was the better player? For me, it's Salah, because look how many years and for how long he's done it and what he's achieved.
James, you've nailed it. And this is why I can't entertain the Saka world-class debate. I can't have it, because longevity and consistency is a cornerstone for me of me calling somebody world-class. Saka is a phenomenal player, and he may well go on to be world-class, he might not. But when you're looking at Salah, you just said it. 8 years, this guy's put up 20 goals every single season, won all the trophies. There's a body of work where you're like, this guy is not in the same league as Bukayo Saka. That doesn't mean that Saka's not a problem. Doesn't mean that Saka's not number 2, but it's a distant number 2. I'm not dissing my player here because I love Saka. We all love Saka. But when I hear people, I watched Curtis's fan cam yesterday, and he was saying that he's finally come around to the idea that he's world class. No, he's not.
He is for me.
He's not. That's fine, but for me, he's not because of what you just said about Salah. How can you call Salah world class and put Saka in the same bracket?
Sure, but Saka has put up not 8, but I'd say this is now his 3rd season where he's looking like, him and Salah. Sorry?
Highest output of goals and assists.
No, they've been unreal, man.
Who's Saka?
Yeah, Saka's output for.
No, but you're coming from different angles. He's coming from the Salah angle, and it's you're coming from coming angle.
That's the point I'm making. We wax lyrical about Saka's numbers, and they're very good. They're not phenomenal.
Was that as good as Saka's at his age?
Salah's better.
I don't care about Salah when he was young. I'm talking about now. The debate is.
I don't care about him now. Why are you caring about him?
Guys. Sorry, can I jump in quick? So 21-22 season when we nearly got Champions League football, 18 goals and assists in the leagues. That was 11 and 7. Since then, 14 and 11. So that's 25 goals and assists. 16 and 9 last season, and he's now on 5 and 10. Like Salah's his numbers are a joke. But guys, you're putting up potentially a 3rd season in a row of 25 plus goals and assists. That's really good.
I'm not poo-pooing Saka's numbers. I'm just saying there's levels here. And for me, it's the same reason I don't put Bellingham in the world-class debate. Because he's got Modric in the same team. How can people call Bellingham world-class and Modric has become Real Madrid's greatest ever player?
This is where I think
decorated, and yet you got them in the same conversation.
Salah's an all-timer, though. Salah gets in my Premier League all-time 11.
Yeah,
there's world class, and then there's all-timer. Do you know what I mean?
But looking at Saka this year, I don't know, Jordan, if you agree, or Lee James. Funnily enough, even though he's on 10 assists, and you're looking at this side of things, I actually think he's a bit more ruthless in attack. Like there is moments where I'm like, the old Saka would have passed this, but this year's version is trying to bend it in or trying to take the defender on one more time or trying to get a shot off when it might, there's 2 man there and it might be better to pass. So knowing that or seeing that, plus, like I said, adding another attacker in a year or in January / the summer coming up, which we all want, I think when you look at his numbers, 16 goals, 15 goals, I think he might be lacking 4 or 5 killer goals a season that Salah gets. 4 or 5 killer goals where the game might be tight or you need a goal to come back into it. Salah doesn't need many chances to, he'll stroke it home, giving a sniff. I think that's the next step up for him. But like Lee said, at Saka's age, Salah was putting up good numbers. I think at Fiorentina, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Fiorentina?
On loan, and then he had a couple of years at
Roma, yeah.
He was putting up Saka numbers then.
Yeah, the elevation is on a good trajectory in terms of what I'm seeing and the numbers at the same time. He's evolving every single. I think the next form of Saka needs to be that killer edge. Even the push yesterday, the way he was, that is character building. It's like a forming. He's not the young star boy anymore. He's the man coming into his own at the club. So that all plays a part, in my opinion.
Can I just get you lot's thoughts on 2 things? Sorry, just before I know we've got a wrap. One of the
to be fair, we actually do. Here I am going on and on.
No.
He's got to leave. Sorry.
I'll be brief. The first one is the penalty. What were you guys' thoughts on Saka giving up the first pen? Because I first of all said when he got fouled, give it to Martin. And I found it funny that he actually then gave the ball to Odegaard. My rationale was it looked like it was quite a nasty penalty, like a nasty foul. And my thing's always when it looks like a nasty foul, don't take the penalty, give it to somebody else. But I found myself being a bit of a hypocrite because I'm also the sort of person that says if your take is on the pitch, he should always take the penalty. And I found it interesting that he gave it to Odegaard and he scored. But do you guys think in hindsight it was the correct decision for him to hand that penalty over, even though he's the taker?
I ain't handing nothing over. If that's me, I ain't handing nothing over.
I think they're both penalty
we need
takers,
one of them. Yeah, they are from last year, but we need. It'd be nice to have a player that, look at Havertz a few weeks ago. Could have got his 7th home goal in a row, match Van Persie or whatever it was. Gives it to Trossard or Trossard takes it, whatever. Saka's giving it to Odegaard. I don't mind, but that's happened since last season. It's like they do one on, one off, since last. But It'd be nice for a player to be like, this is mine. I'm getting my numbers this season. I'm eating. I'm burying it. Like, you know, that kind of, that's a killer mentality I'm talking about. I don't mind that he passed it on. But it's not like, I don't feel like Odegaard when we gave the penalty to Havertz last year, it felt like he needed something, for goodness sake. Whereas with Odegaard, he's come back, hit the ground running. He's controlling stuff, you know, game in, game out. It didn't feel like he needed that. And yeah, but it is what it is.
You have a way with words. If you said that exact same sentence in the exact same tone, delivered the exact same way, but didn't say "for goodness sake," I'd have said, "Yeah, you're spot on." But you just had to just
throw it in, didn't you? I just found that interesting because you're on one side, you want your taker. No, I'm the taker. I'll take the penalty. But my first instinct was give it to Odegaard, and he did. The other thing I wanted to mention as well was Calafiori, right? Because and I want to be very clear, I like Calafiori. I really do rate Calafiori. But I'm just kind of thinking to myself, is he the long-term left-back for Arsenal? Because in the same way I rate Havertz, the same way I think Havertz is a very intelligent player, I'm not convinced he's the striker for Arsenal. And I just think to myself, Calafiori, I know he plays at left-back and he can do a job there, but going forward, do we all think that Calafiori is the left-back answer? Or should he be, for me, the second choice left centre-back, which is behind Gabriel? And Ben White, in my ideal world, would be the backup for Saliba. I'm just not convinced. In the same way Havertz isn't our striker, should Calafiori be our left-back?
So, I mean, Turkish has snapped spaghetti in front of me. You've just thrown a lasagna on the floor for no reason.
No. And I did start off by saying I really like Calafiori. I do like him. I'm very happy with him.
I'll be real.
Going forward, I'm just not sure if he's.
I haven't loved his. In these 3 games, we've been brilliant. I think he's been the one who's been a bit fine. But I really liked what I saw of him pre-injury. So we need to be patient. He's 22 years old, and he actually played the last year at centre back. I think he's got the attributes to be what Arteta wants at left back. White has evolved immensely in the fullback position. Remember, we didn't love White when he first got a run at right back. We weren't sure about it. And then it got to a point where he felt undroppable. So I'm willing to be patient on it. And because he's Italian, I'll give him an extra month or 2 on top of that.
And also, his minutes are being managed at the moment very, very well by the manager, by the way. You know, that's another game that he took him off, brought on Zinchenko. I thought played well when he came on.
I thought Zinchenko looked better than Calafiori. I thought Zinchenko got us on the ball a little bit, and we needed that.
Could be something to look into. But what I do like about Calafiori is that there's sometimes the ball's crossed into the back post. He defends it very, very well.
Yeah,
I think Turkish mentioned a couple of times the right side is our stronger side. I think talking about Trossard and Martinelli, who in the summer I'd upgrade on both of them. I just feel our left side, I'm not totally convinced our left side is good enough for the. We're getting through. They're doing a job, but I think we need to buy.
Timber could still play there as well. Don't forget.
He can.
My 2 pence is someone better be ready for that left back, because if we sign another defender, I'm going to explode. Yeah, we've got enough on our hands. Someone's got to be ready for some positions in there. Like, just make it work. Yeah, that's all I'm saying about
that green lighting live stream will be sensational.
Yeah, when our 70 million left back comes in the summer and we don't get a striker and we start
get on the phone to a VPN, just be like, listen, mate, we've signed another fucking left back. Do you want the deal? This is an all-timer stream coming.
I'm about to lose it. Let's move on to the prediction stuff. We've got Man United. We've barely spoken about it, but Man United are not in a state where you need to speak to them and speak about them much, if I'm honest with you.
We don't know anything, do we?
Yeah,
they got a new manager. We don't really know.
AMORIM barely knows anything. Like, he's only been there a week and a half, so I just think we should win that game.
That's a short quote or clip that could age badly. AMORIM doesn't know anything. Arsenal 1, Man United 3.
Yeah. Well, you might learn.
Saw their title race end at the hands of their old rivals.
No, but sometimes a new manager comes in, and I like AMORIM, but a new manager comes in and you get that bounce. They've drawn 1-1 to Ipswich. They did beat Bodo, but conceded 2. So it's like he's come in and you can tell it's not one of those new manager comes in, they bounce straight away, start winning stuff. He has to come in and work it all out. So I think it's a case of, all right, he might work something out against us on Wednesday. But listen, like Jordan said at the start of the show, we can't afford any more slip-ups. So I expect us to put it to them, teach him a bit of a lesson. There's another quote. If it does go pear-shaped, I couldn't give a shit about quotes. You'll be getting a lot more from me on Thursday morning, I'll tell you that. But yeah, Man United, everyone got a point for the West Ham result. Everyone predicted a win. So as it stands, Jordan's still top on 21, 2 points ahead of James on 19. Lee's in third on 17, and I'm trading in fourth on 16. 5 points separate top from bottom. Jordan, top. Start it off. Man United at the Emirates.
They're getting smoked 4-1. They're getting absolutely smoked. Thomas Partey has to come in. Legs. If we
I thought he was about to say Thomas Partey hat trick. I was like, what the fuck?
Whoa. if we win this game through energy, defending resolutely, Declan Rice is key. I think we break their spirit. If we can get a couple of goals in the first half, I genuinely feel James was gone. I genuinely feel
I'm not being associated with this.
We could have some fun.
You was gonna sing next to me on the watch along, you mug.
I was singing the Timber song.
I don't know what you were singing, man.
Timber, Kesha.
I don't. You think I care about chants until we win something now? Every player's got a chant about Kesha. What's Kesha?
The singer, the artist.
Kesha.
Yes.
Bro, I listen to hip hop, grime, R&B like that. What's Kesha?
So do I, but I've got a bit of time for.
And Adele. I like Adele.
The Swifties and all that. It's fine.
Is that a Swifties? Oh,
no, it's not. It's different. But
look, Jordan's bored. He started opening Christmas presents.
Sorry.
So 4-1, Jordan.
That's some IKEA furniture.
He's about to set up a wardrobe. Go on, James.
Yes, I'm second. 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1. 4-1. 2-1. Lee.
3-0.
3-0.
I honestly think if Arsenal turn up, and I'm not being like.
We're not like that at the Emirates, you know.
No, we ain't. But this is about time. Listen, and this is what I say about this game, and I'll be a bit annoyed if it don't. When we've been in the mud, Manchester United have put it on us many occasions. 8-2s, 6-1s, and all that. Like they are not at the races at the moment. Arsenal destroy. Listen, I'll take a 1-0 now, but like I've got a feeling that we're gonna dismantle them very easily.
Hopefully, seek and destroy. I'm on that.
Seek and destroy.
Before James comes in, and this quote could age horribly, we seem to like really physical, strong strikers. We've done well against Chris Wood last week, Gyökeres, Antonio yesterday, even Haaland. We seem to strikers that really want to kind of mix it up. And I think in Højlund, if it is him that starts, that's the sort of striker I expect the trinity of Rice, Gabriel, and Saliba to handle quite well. Anyway,
deal with that, man. 4-1 Jordan. 4-1 Jordan. 2-1 James. 3-0 Lee. 3. I've got my score back. 3-1. You know what's coming, people. 3-1. I am tempted to say 5-1, but
go on, Turkish, do it.
Go on, Turkish. Come on.
Turkish.
Seek and destroy.
If you go 5-1, we'll give you 2 points if it's 5-1.
Turkish.
You go 5-1.
Before you lock in,
if you go 5-1, it gets 3-1. I'm with you. I'm because you're bottom. I'm happy to give you 1 point if you win 3-1.
Whoa.
1 point if you win 5-1.
I don't know if I agree with that one.
No, nonsense. But Turkish, before you lock it in, I'm going to give you one thing you need to know about this game, and I know it's going to change your mind. I'm going to it.
You're going to it,
and you know that I never ever
don't go then, you plum.
I'm gonna have a nice day with my dad. It's all good, but
all right. We'll go to the turnstile. So it's been very nice, Dad.
I was at Southampton 3-1.
Stop being selfish, James.
I
You've
was
been
at
out, all right.
Bournemouth. To be fair, I was at the Bournemouth 3-0, but I mean that was actually took us a while to get the second and put that to bed. I was at the West Ham 2-0 defeat. I was at Porto, the 1-0. Actually, so to be fair, we've won on my last 3. So actually,
4-0. 4-0. I'll go 4-0.
Oh, Circus, I love you, man. I love you. I love you. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Seek and destroy. That should be the name of this.
You know what?
Seek and destroy.
You know what? Lee, James. The rule is once you give your score, it's locked in. We'll give you a chance to go 5.
No,
4-0, man. 4-0. I'm happy with that. 4-0. Clean
I'll tell
sheet,
you
4
what, if
goals.
we're 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go, I don't want that. Go 5, Turkish. Make it good.
We get that Kai Havertz header for the 4th goal. We're in, man. We're in.
you guys
He
have never
does do
watched
that.
football.
I'll tell you what, he does do that. You know
I
what I mean?
swear, you lot have never watched
Full
football.
knowledge in the mud. Is that what you're saying? Don't get the comments
Yeah.
started.
And if I'm
Rashford
wrong
does
and you're all
love
right,
memory.
I will be dancing on Thursday. But
Yeah, I just think about their threats and I think we should handle them. But yeah, famous
Oh.
last words.
Sorry.
Comments of the day. We got 5 minutes to go, Max, because James has got football. I think Lee's got football as well. No?
No, I've got no game today. So.
Okay.
lazy bastard.
I'll kick off. I've got a couple. This is weird. James and Jordan are the Ty and Claude. I didn't quite understand that. Like, me and James don't really have any particular partnership going on. So I don't know where that came from.
But
EastEnders, what?
That's an honour, I will say.
Which one are you?
I don't mind. Legends, both of them. And
James, if it's James is Ty for sure.
Can I tell?
If it's like for like, I mean.
What deluded, like really optimistic, and I'm
No,
the
but
miserable one.
Claude was known for, moaning, and what you are also known for moaning. So, it kind of rest in peace, Claude.
Yeah, man, big up, Claude.
Quick little story about Ty yesterday, right? Yeah, we're sitting having dinner on the food at level 3, in the food hall at Stratford, and he's walking around like a lost puppy. So we go, what? Yeah, he goes, I'm looking for car park 3. You ain't gonna find it up here, mate. Oh, you like it? Oh, you like it? You know what I mean? It's incredible, isn't it? Like, so anyway, I look at him and I think, well, is he stupid or what? Because at the end of the day, he's got 3 meals out. He got 3 meal out of us, you know what I mean? Like, and got to lift home, you know what I mean? So there you go, like, so
He's a wise man this time.
I think he's a wise man. I think he's a wise man. You know what I mean?
I've got one more. EastEnders was 4 days a week in the late 90s and the noughties when I grew up. 8 p.m. Friday and Monday, 7:30 on a Tuesday and a Thursday. I knew it.
I got to go. Just get. Right. I've got this from KWTA. It says Turkish and James forgot to mention how the Portuguese Pints had Lee calling Charlene Hart on the watch along live.
Yeah, do you remember? Oh, mate, yeah.
Your halftime calling.
Oh no, I'll see her Friday. I said that's all right. She said no, she was fine with it. So that was all right.
Charlene's yeah.
Charlene's good, like
Not banter, man. Charlene's the best, but I mean that call at halftime, we went right. End it there. Look at yeah. Hang up.
Enough is enough. My comment is from Nice Fakes. Come on, bro, always supporting. Says I know Lee is sitting there on these early recordings wearing just a hoodie and a beanie. Can you throw these allegations out of the For more, subscribe to the Lee Judges OnlyFans, people. You can find that there.
Oh, wow.
Don't get
I'm not lying, I have done it in the past. You know what I mean? I've been playing snooker. You know what I mean? But there you go.
You've been playing snooker, a cup of tea, no trousers on. Okay, now.
Talking about balls, well, it goes into my one, which is fantastic. 3 minutes and 30 seconds in the intro, talking about shaving Lee's heads and balls. Skips to 4:58. You're welcome. Right?
You're missing the best bit of the podcast, people.
Yeah. Why do people want to miss that? It's great conversation.
I know, but I thought it was funny. Like, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, no,
I love it
it.
at the end. Skips to 5:48. You're welcome. Like, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I don't think many Arsenal podcasts quite hit the point the way we do.
No.
There's a level of insight.
We actually sell the products. We sell them well. You know what I mean? Like, we put our enthusiasm into it.
Yeah, I like to think people will come away a more intelligent person having listened to, especially the opening 5 minutes of the Fourever Arsenal podcast.
Yeah, nothing like it.
I'm going to come forward to Ryan.
Oh yeah, do you have to? So you have
Well,
to.
just so that Ryan's got an equal. Because if I'm back here, Ryan, the thumbnail look rubbish.
Can you move to the left a bit then, so you're away from the logo in the middle? Yeah, move to the left a bit more.
And smile.
Yeah, I see what
And a bit more.
Just a bit more.
He nearly fell for it, didn't he?
I
Like?
did.
Keep going.
Almost.
Oh, it's the best
People.
you've looked in years, Jordan. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
People, Jordan,
There's a
James Lee,
thumbnail.
love for the love as always. Community love, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Individual channels, they're not in the description, but Gooniverse, Lee Judges TV, Whisper It Loudly, Turkish LD, and the Big Six. Subscribe here. Love for the love. We'll be back again Thursday morning. Look out for it, people. Peace.